took a less important role up in your love life. When you gave my pedestal up to a concubine. That's fine, because now I know what I'm worth. Multiple side hoes is how you make me feel worse. When you hit rock bottom, that's the foundation to bubble wrap yourself up and find salvation. My clothes on your floor, on the night we did the boom, boom, boom. Did a dance on your dick. In a threesome of me, Jack, and Daniel, you see. I'm getting love drunk without you on the whiskey. And when I'm done with them, I've got Ben and Jerry. It's a materialistic orgy. He's a better Ben than you, and he's tastier too. He let me eat the brownie and snack on the cookie too. Comforted, satisfied, all of us in bed tonight. I'm just tasting these guys while you're eating out guys. Well, it's true, one of us got whores on the side. Evolution. Yes, I found the solution and came to that all-important conclusion that I'm no better than all your side hoes, concubine to the Mario sliding down your flagpole. And as you finish off, I let myself dance in the rain in the hopes that I can find joy in causing you pain. You broke love, and I can't fix it. You took my trust and got it twisted. We're not soulmates. There's no loyalty. You used to treat me like royalty. We were both kings of the highest degree. You promised to love me. That was your decree. There's nothing left. Now it's no holds barred, 'cause what's past is prologue behind my starry-eyed scars. You gave me twisted signs. I'm getting laughter lines. I've got tears in my eyes, but my heart aches inside. You were my first high, now you won't leave my mind. I can't leave you behind. Can't let you see me cry. In the darkness, you're my light. You held my hand, became my guide. Told me things would be alright. But we lost this fight. When two worlds collide, if the time's not right, they're like a spark so bright. I was falling from this high. We faced so much shame when we started to date. Prejudice on both sides just because we're gay. It's not who you are or the choices you make that defined us altogether. We were born this way. There's nothing more terrifying than innocence. But when it falls subject to ignorance, you start to see the hate in people's hearts. Cold, icy places in need of poison darts. Kill them with kindness, but it won't get you anywhere. Bullets fly, people die, nobody stops to stare. In this world of strife and pain without any care, I gave my soul to you and laid myself bare. I turned my back, then you planted the knife. Backstabbing bastard, tried to claim my life. You tried to break me down, that's when things got twisted, but blood's thicker than water. Hey, mister, you see, I got friends as good as family, but what do you have? You have nothing without me. Let me remind you, boo, boo, kitty, that you're getting nothing from Grant. When you stopped hurting me, I got time to heal. Time to think about if what we had was real. You were real slick, just like an eel. I was happy to find out we didn't have the real deal. When you cheated, you sharpened the knife. You stabbed at the darkness, tried to end my life. You tried to bring me down and tried to cause me strife, but instead, I found freedom, spread my wings, and learned to fly. Boy, I now am over you. Binaou. Bye now. I want to stay single, but I want to mingle. My eyes are like stars. Apparently they twinkle. Those were the words chosen by my ex. Now I'm ready to move on to love and better sex. The boy was a hoe, and he cheated on me. He threw up his deuces to loyalty. When I broke up with him, I refused to cry. A quiver in my voice, I couldn't look him in his eyes. No, literally, like, I was on the phone with him and I broke up with him, but I don't know, maybe if he wasn't such a slut, I guess we wouldn't have broke up. Fuck innocence. I've been defiled. Tried to commit, ended up sodomized. Fuck innocence. I'm like one of the rest. Time to put newfound body confidence to the test. Fuck innocence. I'm plenty guilty of seeing what I only wanted to see. Fuck innocence. Virginity is bland. Now it's time to land my ass a new man. I mean, it's what we all do, right? We have a relationship, we break up, we cry, and then we get the fuck over it. I'll admit that I fell for the guy behind the keyboard. He had the time to create the perfect thoughts, to think of what to say and how to get to me. I even let this fool stay with my family. I put food in his belly, I put a roof over his head when things with his mother got a bit heated. Because that's what you do for somebody you love. You don't rip their hearts out with spiky gloves. I mean, they say you don't get to truly know someone until you live with them. I just didn't know that you were a cheating little fuckboy. I'm glad I had the relationship, though. There were some really great times there. Like, really great times. However, I'm also glad that you lost me. Because another part of life is that you learn for your mistakes. Time and time again, I was made to feel sexy, safe and secure when in your company. You set my heart ablaze when you told me you loved me. But sometimes I wonder, did you ever truly mean it? Those words, those I love yous. We now know between me and him who you'd now choose. When I caught you on Snapchat in my own bed, that's when I realized our relationship was dead. Sure, we didn't see each other regularly enough. Like, once a week, sometimes once in a fortnight, but for me, it was always a case of absence makes the heart grow fonder. For you, it was a case of absence sometimes makes the heart wander. We talked every single day. I told you I loved you every single day, and you said the same, but when I got that text where you said you had a moment of weakness, I died inside. And you were the one who did that to me. It was a hard fall when I fell from grace. I fell through your trapdoor and landed on my face. When you snapped a pic and sent it, I felt out of place in our relationship, and then I played my ace. I wouldn't have a card to play if not for him. You know, the guy who you claimed was blackmailing you, but you only told this to my friend instead of to my face, thinking that you could win your way back into my heart, as if I'd hit restart. What we had was bittersweet, kinda like lemon tart. But if there's one thing you can't play with, boy, it's my heart. It hurt me to tell you it was best to part ways, but I have to think about me. I have to put myself before anybody. I need to treat myself like I'm royalty and raise my middle finger to your disloyalty. I love my body, I love my skin, I cherish my ugly parts within. I worship myself like a deity because my light and beauty radiates from within. I love my soul now more than ever. I may be fractured and broken, but you can't take that away from me, not ever. If talk is cheap and manners are free, why is it that I have to pay for your mistakes? Trust is like a currency. You work hard to earn it, but just like glass, it can be shattered in seconds. My heart was like paper, your soul a pair of scissors. You cut my trust in men up into tiny little pieces. You were the one who said the following: if we don't have trust, babe, we don't have nothing. I had to call you out on your finest of shit because you were such a fucking hypocrite. And I told you the only way I'd leave you was if you cheated on me, so, to my word, I proved true. In my hindsight, I've had time to reflect. look in a mirror, and pick up self-respect. Because I need to put me before those around me and champion myself, shine with dignity. There's nothing left but you regret committing the finest disrespect. There's regret in your tears. Now realize your fears of staying single for years upon years. I hope you mature. I want you to feel pain. For your mistakes, I will no longer pay. My trust is spent. Now you need to repent. Next time you'll think twice. I hope you relent. I need to find space. I need to breathe. I need to heal. I need to be free. And what's best for me is singularity. I am now wise to bougie Benji. If talk is cheap, if a smile is free, why is it that I have to pay for your mistakes? Trust is like a currency. You work hard to earn it, but just like glass, it can be shattered in seconds. It's one of those things where I tell you no. You tell me what? I tell you to go. I tell you to bounce. You gotta kick rocks, 'cause you're nothing to me now, boy. You're just a thought. I won't let you justify yourself. Honey, now I'm wise and looking out for myself. What we had in the end was not meant to be. It was not a nice place for either you or for me. Understand the concept of monogamy before you ever think to get back in touch with me. In this relationship, you were the cheat, and I think your maneuvers were pretty cheap. I hated how you used to be so clingy. I hated when you used to try to smother me. Oh, when you got sad, you could get quite mean. Now say goodbye to GRANT. You can't play with my heart, because I'll hit restart. I do it for myself. I'm not playing a part in your scripted fate, in your twisted art. You messed with the wrong bitch. Now, be gone. You'd come on Snapchat, but not before me. You're a freak in the sheets and a freak in the streets. Got a great nickname for you. Know what it is? Bougie Benji. Because that's all you is. I took you in when you had nowhere to go, and you repaid me by being a hoe. Talking to that guy who wanted your cock, but then I intervened, and he shit his pot. You were in the act, and you got caught being no more than a little dirty thought. But more fool me for turning blind eyes, ignoring the truth that was masked in the lies. I can't look at you the same way again. Boy, now you're just a 0 out of 10. This Barbie does not need a Ken, so whip your dick out for that Tesco, Ben, because it was never an offer. Buy one, get one free. Because, honey, you shouldn't have cheated on me. You can't put a price on my loyalty, but I can on yours, and boy, it's real cheap. Now I need to calm down, and I need space to breathe. Boy, your mind games won't get the best of me. Remember what I told you when we started dating? We all know each other in the LGBT. Go cry to your mother who has a hard case of council face. The one who kicked you out in the first place. The one who had you weeping, crying for days. Because to her, you're nothing but a little disgrace. She kicked you out because you fucked me. Now I run the risk of an STDB. Cause you don't understand loyalty. You raised a middle finger to monogamy. And when you did that, you destroyed me. Now I've got to pick up every single piece of my heart just to find closure and peace. You better hope to God that I'm not fucking diseased. You inherit my legacy, you bougie trick. You think you're slick, sucking on my ex's dick. The way he looks at you makes you think you're it. Go home, little boy, to my sloppy seconds. Congratulations, little boy. My donation to you is a humanoid toy. You see, I give my shit to the less fortunate, so by all means, feel free to play with it. About me, honey, no fucks are given. I'll wait for him to remove your liver and your heart, and then you'll be the same as me, well wishing the next bitch in his legacy, parading in my place like a pair of peacocks. But the thing with that guy is, he has a peacock. Maybe you know. Have you seen it in person? Or was it on Snapchat? Yeah, I learned some things about you. Like who you did. Tesco Ben, sinker of relationships. You who were the iceberg to our Titanic. And when he fucks you over too, you'll be in my drink. Baby boy, feel free to come swim with me because we'll tag team revenge on Bougie Benji. Because the boy likes getting his dicks by the dozen. I suggest we get this bitch a muzzle to stop him cum guzzling like dicks are sweets. You'll never make him come through tricks or through treats, even though I pleased him so sexually. You have no hope if he wouldn't come for me. I'll decline your offer of casual intercourse because I know I'm worth so much more. You of all people can't come to me talking about monogamy when you're the thief that stole my man from me. Or was it an act of charity? Your surprise for me was burglary when you stole my now ex away from me. You better get the fuck out of here with your bougie bullshit. A word of warning, honey. He's playing you like a game. He knows what he's doing, and he's saving his ace. Don't dare start thinking you're his player too, because that X button has its sights set on you. I wonder at night who leaves him truly satisfied. Is it you? Or is it his new guy on the side? Because there's not a single doubt that exists in my mind that Bougie Benji's playing all the same tricks twice. Of all the people you could have bounced to, it had to be the one who I first accused you of having other relationships with while seeing me. He came after you, that makes him my enemy. Things are getting heavy, carrying all this baggage. Raise my boot to you, I kick you like a bad habit. Your new plaything is by. I'm savage. Boy, better bounce and go rug munch on cabbage, 'cause I bring the fire. And I bring the pain. When you play my game, you're gonna play my way. Make no mistake, I'm here to stay because I'm not the one whispering my ex's name. When you play my game, don't cheat the system like how you would cheat on all your other misters and try to get on the side of my fucking sisters like when you walk out my life. Do try not to get blisters. I'm monogamous and you're polyamorous. When you cheated on me, it felt like you threw up the deuces. It don't take 4 eyes to see you fucked up. I be drinking from glasses, but you're still on them sippy cups. It's been a year since I let myself free. I'm stronger than ever. I am GRANT. I'm thriving, and you're just bougie. How's the single life treating you now, Benji? Still accusing guys of giving you STDs? Or do they have the common sense to say, bitch, please, and kick you to the curb because you're really nasty? Because you're a fake-ass bitch. I'm real. You're plastic. I'm a real-ass bitch up in this fake-ass world. When I cut you out my life, you went around to her. Little attention-seeking whore. You didn't deserve any more than what I gave up to you up in those weeks 4. I gave you my biggest deal. I gave all of me. Just to satisfy you, I sacrificed virginity. You tried to overpower me with a minuscule D. We'd have sword fights, and I'd win because you're tiny. It's been a year since I set myself free. Stronger than ever, I am GRANT. I'm thriving, and you're just bougie. How's the single life treating you now, you basic bitch? Still accusing guys of giving you STDs? Or do they have the common sense to say, bitch, please, and kick you to the curb because you're really nasty? Because you're a fake-ass bitch? I'm real, you're plastic, you're plastic. And I needed to recycle your mannequin ass. So I broke the cycle of pain and hurting, put that shit to an end. I got back on my horse and started riding again. You got back on your horse and started riding again. Little dicky bird trying to take flight again, like flap, flap, flap. You're flying again. You caught the clap, clap, clap while you're lying in bed. How about a round of applause for you and your whores? When you're done with them, you're asking round for more. You should get reduction while you're looking for action. You're up in my DMs trying to catch a reaction. But I'm better than that. I'm better than you. Because I hold on to what in my heart is true. When it comes to people, over them, I don't screw. Monogamy really was too good for you. I don't want to make art anymore. I can't believe I just said that out loud. That's how I felt when I left you. Broken, damaged, beyond repair. And I discovered there's a powerful poison coursing through my veins. It's toxic. It's parasitic. It's your name. Poison reaches peak performance when I hear your name and those I care about in the same breath, because they are two things that don't deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence. People say that love and hate go hand in hand, but it's a lot more complicated than that. My parents always told me to give up my toys to the less fortunate, and that's why I gave up on you. But even those closest know there's still some part of you I still haven't given up. I keep the ghost of you as a trophy on my shelf, as a constant reminder to look after myself. I'll share the life we had together out. I'll air the dirty laundry. You were once my source of pride, but now you're little more than tawdry. As an act of chivalry, I introduced you to my friends. I didn't realize that would be the start of the end. We'd argue and we'd fight and we'd stay awake through the night. I'd sleep through the days, but something wasn't sitting right. You were angry with me, but you had no right. You created this homemade dynamite. It was the first spark of our last fight. You were full of bark, so I had to bite. So I cleansed my skin, I purified my pores, I picked up my dignity from my bedroom floor, swept what's left of us under the floorboards, and on our relationship, I closed the last door. The old saying goes, time heals all wounds. It doesn't cure scars. That much is true. As if it were a simple toy, I let you play with my heart. You trampled on my trust. I left you and hit restart. You were a disloyal royal. You became the king of whores. No longer my king, not someone worth respect. You made me feel like I didn't want to make art anymore. And you're here again, trying to attack and scratch and hack and slash your way back at me, just using keys. And so I block, erase and rewind, restart and collect my mind. And I'm free. On these cold, foggy nights, I'm looking for warmth. I'm looking for some heat to melt that ice, some noise against the silence. I'm looking for some solace in a stranger's bed. And on these hard, hot days, I'm searching for the same. I'm searching for that one who keeps his cool when I act like a damn fool. I'm looking for some solace in my lover's bed. It was a shock to me when you let me in. You broke down all of your walls for me. You showed me your insecurities. But it all started with solace in a stranger's bed. They say the best of friends start out in life as complete strangers, completely unaware of all the risks and dangers. You can't let nothing ever happen to them. Otherwise, nothing ever would happen to them. Where's the lie? When I was 24, I said I'd never be a whore. I'd have people come into my life, and they'd leave open the door for the next runner in this race. For life to pick up the baton, I've stopped loving, started living, my heart will go on. And now, at 25, is when I've come to realize I'm not as young as I used to be. I can't afford to be as carefree. You see, I couldn't start living life because I'm LGBT. So until I'd hit the mid-20s, I was afraid to truly be me. I wasn't comfortable in my skin until I'd done the damn deed, until I'd bottomed so hard from limp to start and had been filled with scattered seed. I just needed that nutrient, that essence, that vitamin D, to truly bloom like a flower in spring, to break the shackles and set myself free. I entered 25, single, raw, vulnerable, and alone. Because a few days prior, at 24, I watched someone twist out of my life and go. And as I saw him leave my life without so much as a wave back at me, it was in that moment I realized the world is a place so cruel, yet so full of beauty. So I took some time off of life for myself and made myself understand that I care, because love and acceptance start with oneself. Self-love is the best medicine out there. I won't allow myself to get stuck, trapped in some emotional bog. I'll attack my past demons with all that I have, because what's past is prologue. And I'm soon 26, and life's full of tricks. I don't know what's around the next corner. Maybe it's one, maybe it's several dicks, but I'll still hold dear to 24, the promise to never be a whore, because that's a life I could never lead. I'd destroy myself once more. I'm never going back to that. The life of a black and blue heart, bruised, abused, isolated, confused. I don't want to have to hit restart. I was holding another man's hand last night, excited, was terrified, horrified at the prospect of leading a life of lies, because I've had my heart broken several times, and in some places it's shattered twice. Hi, my name's Grant. And then I ask, where are you from? And they say, where they're from, and I say, you want to meet for fun? Before I know it, I've got 3 dates that I'm going on. So is this what it feels like to pit 3 guys against one another at the same time? It's a life I don't like, but it thrills me at the same time, because I'm excited and celebrated for my looks and my body, but being this guy now feels quite good to be naughty. Now I look in the mirror at night and can't recognize the guy standing in front of me with the glasses, blonde hair and blue eyes. He's tall, slender, St. Guy's around the bend. And it's just a matter of time before the truth flows out and someone gets hurt, and he needs to realize that lives aren't games for people to play. And this guy now no longer cares about being gay, which is great, because he's grown so much with his lies and deception, how he's learned how to bluff, but it all boils down to the fact he's now courting. And he smiles at me and says, it's good to be naughty. And I realize he's me, and that I've changed, that I've grown and adapted and learned how to cause pain in people that don't deserve it, because it's been done to me. And I scream out loud at the mirror at myself that I'm a cruel fool and it isn't good to be naughty. I was holding another man's hand last night, excited, was terrified, horrified at the prospect of leading a life of lies, broken several times, and in some places it's shattered twice. Hi, my name's Grant. And then I ask, where are you from? And they say where they're from. And I say, do you want to meet for fun? And before I know it, with 5 more dates, I'm back at square one. And everything fades into a distorted state of oblivion the next day at the family Sunday dinner, because grievance has led to fights and the vegetables fly across the table to declare a winner. Forks and knives are sent sky high as the potatoes collide against the chaos, and I retreat to the bedroom away from the cataclysmic fracas. Words were said, and things were said, and insults were said, and all came from empty breath. All because we lost a family member last week and recently found out the cause of death. And so I escape the disaster dinner and find solace inside my bedroom and turn on some loud pop music with headphones on in an attempt to drown out the gloom. And then peace is ruined when a remnant of the calamity enters my room, and I take off the headphones and log back into the world around me again and stop the beats and tunes. The sky is blue and the weather is sunny, but things at home are anything but funny. So I re-enter the state where I can't wait until I'm headed out for my next secret date, because it's lonely in isolation, and sometimes you just need a playmate. Guys, who aren't afraid to look you in the eyes, cup your chin in a hand and caress your thighs, who are caring, treat you right, who are sweet, and who are genuinely kind. I want all of the guys. Because I want to find validation, salvation from the darkness. I want helping hands from potential saviors, but I'm hooking up with all these strangers and all the while possibly putting my body in so much danger. I might be a tall and skinny bitch, personality insidious, I'm hideous, it's frivolous to continue to pretend that things are okay when they're not okay at all anymore. I'm a whore. But it's good to be naughty. I was addicted to the wine, but drank bleach to show remorse at the times where I'd shout until my voice was hoarse, until my throat was sore, and until I could take no more. The violence and hatred that kept afloat the ship of our relations had reached a new high when, during the last time we had angry sex, we made each other cry. You wrapped your legs around my neck and forced me to give you head. You never cared that you gagged me with your dick. You are terrifying and strange. And our love was part of a new age. When I cried at night when you weren't there, I clogged up my pores with all the salty rivers that flowed. I drowned myself in my tears and suffocated my anxieties as I twisted and retched as the salts found themselves in places they should never be. I popped the pills not needed to take. I would foam at the mouth. Another mistake I had to make, and I'd bite my lips. This was to stop me from crying out your name, because for me to do so would be for me to show weakness, to feel shame, to surrender, to drown my sorrows with more booze in the hopes that things themselves would mend. I was a fixture on a wall, like a deer head. Dear lover, what is it that you see when you refuse to look at me? The people with the good hair, the flawless complexions, smooth legs, long. Unknown men walked the hallways of our house at night, and they were your guests. Countless one-night stands, one after the other, each one bearing a different gift that you would blackmail them into giving. You forget that I was there, and that I saw everything, and that I know exactly what you were hiding. But that's just it, though. Some things are better left unsaid, aren't they? You would happily press your foot down on all of the throats of those who dared oppose you. It was the life you chose. No one coerced you into this. That much I do know. What is it that you see when you look at me? Staring back at you when you look in the mirror, and your eyes catch mine, and you envision me chained to some wall, burned by hot candle wax. Scalded, manipulated, yet I am the butterfly. I endured my metamorphosis and came out stronger on the other side. I take flight, refuse your plight before you can subject me to your blight. Sapphire eyes cry crocodile tears, whether at the beach or in the forest. I am my own change. I broke your chains and changed my name. Against the time, I ran my race. 4, 3, 2, Joker, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. You're a disgrace. My life was a gamble with you. First to 21, bloody red, I'd bet upon your lie-infested roulette. Divide the roll of a hard 4 on the dice by 2. You get 2. Me and you. I divided my problems by themselves, and now I'm left with 1. Me, on my own. And in all honesty, I much prefer it this way. Coming here was supposed to be my closing of this chapter of my life. But instead, it just feels like I'm turning the next page in this never-ending story. Our story could have been a movie, but you fell asleep and missed the ending. I walked out, and when you woke up, I wasn't there for you anymore. Everybody wants their happy ending, but not everybody gets their happy ending. I feel like I've seen this story before, and it just ends in heartbreak and mending. And I'm just walking right down the street, minding my business, watching my feet as they take turns hitting the ground, spurring me on. Forward. Toward what? I don't know. Into the unknown. I take a left down an alley and a right into a shop, grab hot chocolate to go, turn and see a ghost in the doorway. No escape. Laughter to my right, an argument on my left. It's a phantom recreation of our first proper date. Everything about this reeks of familiarity, and I don't like it. I don't like it because it reminds me of the fact that you always had to have the last word, and you always had to be right. God complex. You could never be wrong, except in your treatment of me. You went wrong there, and that's why you lost me. I chose not to be cheap. I chose not to be a toy. I chose not to be a prisoner to my heart anymore. Disobedient, I rebelled against the psychological conventions and principles on which I'd lived my life up to that point and ran away from you forever. You said I was your favorite, and I asked, favorite what? And your mouth said person, your body said shag, your heart echoed victim, and your mind screamed toy. And yeah, I suppose I was. I suppose I was your toy because you picked me up when I needed playing with, and then you got bored with me and threw me aside for a new model. The new model. The filler of your void, the inheritor to a stained legacy. When I don't want something anymore, I give things away to people who actually need them. You're different. You see people as objects, as stepping stones, things you can just discard and leave alone. Life was like a game of chess to you, playing your pawns first and fucking your toys with porn on in the background. Intimacy became background noise to the base act of copulation. I should have removed your eyes when I had the chance to, because I would never let you see me naked now. Thanks, though, for the fucks you gave when you gave them. They were some of your best feelings, because you truly meant them. I put salt on my scars, wanting old wounds to smart. Instead of moving on in life, I hit the hard restart. Your kiss is pleasure on my lips. There's agony in my hips. I'd indulge in your shit, but never again do I want this. You're a pain in the ass. You're a blast from the past. We had a love that didn't last. Now I'm putting you on blast. Thought I was done talking. On some level, I guess I'm not. I keep the memories alive of how you were such a thought. Chemical sex. You filled me up with that sextasy, and then you left with the best of me. But hey, I guess that's history, just like the time you cheated on me. 2 hearts, 4 broken pieces, and all 4 pieces were mine. Fired up, I got momentum, and now it's my time to thrive. I don't find you stupid, I just think you're selfish, how you can hurt a bitch just for the fucking hell of it. You're the wicked queen to my Alice, lost in a wonderland full of malice. Headspace, get the fuck out, because you're living rent-free in the complex of my mind, tainting all my memories. You'll be the death of me. I got lava in my veins, hypoxia in the brain, temporary high, you be giving me migraines, over and over, shits on replay, till I'm insane. Because I'm expecting you to change, but the more I crave change, the more things stay the same. Insanity. It's my drive and pain, expecting spontaneity through repeats. Grow the fuck up and stop being so lame. Palms sweaty, heart heavy, knees weak, mind forgetting. And as I go blanker than space, my lock screen shows your name. And in the pit of my stomach, knots become butterflies, and my mouth goes dry. As I answer your call and you say, hey. And I say, hey, hey, hi. Are you alright? Still over the fair tonight? Sure. You doing okay? I'm great. Don't flake on me, okay? Okay. Anyway, I'm on my way. Can't wait to see you. It's been so long. Too long. But we'll catch up soon. Okay. See you soon, Ty. Charlie, my guy. Goodbye. And Tyrone hangs up. And my shoulders ease up, and I begin to relax and I think back on my past. I had an ex called Clayton. He was a real pain, and Clayton drew spirals around in my mind and gaslit me into borderline insanity. And in the depths of my stupor, Tyrone, a man so super, well, he broke up with Clayton for me. Splendid. I ended it for real this time. His anger was bitter, like a lemon to my lime. I put a vacant, empty distance between us, and that hurt him more than a kick in the penis. I may have no backbone to stand up for myself with, but I'm glad I did. Ty parks on the driveway. His Mercedes is our getaway car that the two of us use, and it's been our bubble of heartbreak and blues, because when one of us is sad, we'll sit in his car and blast some sad single-life pop songs about countless breakups and so longs. I open the door, and my heart skips a beat, because he looks smart casual in his acid denim jeans ripped at the knees. Total teenage dream. Low-cut white V-neck tight tee. Cleavage. Varsity draped over the shoulder. If I didn't know better, I'd say that was a smolder that's gracing his face. As he greets me with that really cool, studly, hey. The fair's only 3 streets away, so we agreed to walk the whole way. We can hear the laughter and screams, and see the borders between real life and fantasy. Hook-a-duck, waltzer, twister, ghost house, launcher, Ferris wheel, food stands, bouncer. Ty asks me where to start, and I'm stuck with champagne problems because I like everything I see. So over to the hook-a-duck we start hobbling. I win a goldfish, and he, the big teddy bear, we decide to go in the ghost house because I'm horrendous with jump scares. We try the other stuff, and the goldfish goes belly up. It's almost like it was a bad idea to take it on the waltzer. Laughter of the slaughter and darkness pervades the fun fair. So, for our final ride, we take to the Ferris wheel to stare at the stars from the apex. His body inches closer to mine, and I feel a powerful, familiar chill run the length of my spine. He whispers to me, "Thanks for coming tonight." I'm glad I did. And I put his forehead against mine. We were like the stars above the pewter pot. It was the one place to be. Dreamlike, artificial light, wrapped up like the perfect suburban dream. And he kisses me. At the summit of rotation where nobody else can see us. Absolute perfection. We descend. His cherry bliss still strong on my lips, as he unwraps his varsity jacket from his hips and covers his arms, now cold from the lack of light. He pulls me into a tight hug. "I'll walk you home, alright? Picture me, in my suburban canopy, on the balcony of the atrium, and I count myself blessed to have passed all the tests to stand at my lover's side. Trial by fire. We've learned by doing. From past failures, we've been growing. And I turn away from my yesterdays and ask myself, what if we would take the long walks through the fields, one of the best places to be come blazing August or frozen February, the Windermere Peaks covered in autumnal rainbow, cherry pink blossom all whiter than snow, and I know that it brings you joy to feel free, but I feel so confined in trying to do what's right for you because you're able to spread your wings. That's why I begin to ask, what if things had been different in the past? Do you miss the guy who pushed you to the precipice of your dreams and told you to leap? What if Clayton was a thief? How would I feel if he'd stolen you from me? What if you suddenly stopped breathing? How would I continue to exist? What if, in another timeline, the two of you watched the daybreak and sunrise of the dawn of Christmas Day over the mountain peaks instead of you and me, Charlie? Do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise, then left your dirty laundry out to hang dry? Full was the mast of the flag of the relations, ship blowing in the wind. Nowadays, it doesn't fly. Clipped were the wings of Icarus, who was mercilessly cast to the fire. It took a great failure to regain your smile. Dead was the weight made of lead, yet given hope could it rise. Slowly, all wounds tend to heal with time. Do you miss the snake who told you it was okay to take from life's tree? Who then went on to bleed you dry for every last penny? Yet even when you put your warm hands around mine, I still feel cold. What if you see him again and you turn to stone? Like Medusa, avoid eye contact, and if you don't, I will, because I can't let you look back. You're too pure and forgiving. Your naivete is your undoing, which is a shame because it's one of the things I like most about you. And what if those parts of you changed? Or am I overthinking things? On that day, did I paint your skies of grey a brighter shade than charcoal clay when I asked you to become engaged to you and you took your warm hands in mine own? It's been 20 years now, but please, picture me in my countryside canopy on the balcony of the atrium, and I count myself blessed to have passed all the tests to still stand by my husband's side after all this time. And we're sat here in a cafe eating parfait, and all your bluest skies contrast my deepest greys. You were once a beacon of light that shone through my darkest days. We were the blueprint for your current life. I was the foundation for your rock bottom, the anchor of your ship dragging you down to the depths of oblivion, and I'm sorry for making you traipse through hell with a smile on your face every day for the duration of our relationship. It's been a long time since then. 4 decades to the day since I told you that your Labrador ran away, but the truth is I abandoned it by the roadside in July, then regretted the choice I made. So I got a new one to fool you, then gaslit you into thinking it was the one we once had, instead of owning up to my past ways. You were right to leave and to grow a spine. I'd have kept you under my thumb for the rest of your life. He saved your life that day when he wrestled you from me. Tell me, how are things with him now, Charlie? Oh, you're married. Well, that's great. I'm happy for you. We're in our 60s now, and I haven't yet met the new you. But while I've still got you here, I just wanted you to know that I'm so sorry for everything I put you through. And I know it's not fair to ask, but could you at least grant me the meager mercy of forgiveness? Because once and for all, I want to rest the ghosts of my past. Closure is the end game. It's the last thing of you I'll ask. Even though I once weaponized your secrets, shot them at your heart, booby-trapped your past mistakes, wrapped them in wires barb, planted a seed and it wilted and died, the tree I'd nourished couldn't make you mine. I sit and watch you talk like you're an old friend of mine. I'm not even listening. I'm just lost in your kind blue eyes, sage-like and tender, but too wise to see through fabrications and fallacies, and too old to care, because nobody teaches you what to do when you realize all too late that a good man was ruined by you. To keep on living, I needed a reason. I screamed off the precipice but never found peace. So I stare at the froth and let out a heavy sigh as I sum up the courage to say how I'm feeling one last time. It's like the last snow that won't melt away, the part that's hiding away in the shade. The sun's rays, they won't warm me up, because I'm just not ready to give you up. I don't want that change from winter to spring, though time's soft embrace erases the sting. What does change bring? It's not always for the better. If the past is the prologue, then some things are worth forgetting. I don't think I've ever been more scared of sunshine, more terrified of daybreak, because you're the best dream I've ever had. So hold on to me. Don't let me wake. Don't let my heart break. Don't let me down. Don't betray my expectations or make me feel like a clown, a jester, or a joker. A return to reality is like becoming sober. I think I'm love drunk, but I don't want to face the hangover. Enjoy the blossom on my tree and the step in my spring, because you keep me grounded. One day soon, I'll give you a ring, on a finger or on a phone. I don't want to be alone. Don't leave my side. I don't want to be alone. We're young and we're carefree. We're in the prime of our lives. We've faced some tribulations and we've survived through trials. As spring becomes summer, nights together are bright with fire. Festivals, fireworks, passion and heat. You're the only thing I desire. So hold me close and pull me in. September's autumn chill is creeping in, and the leaves are changing. So too are we. Then comes the hardest change in history. The snow falls silently from on high in the sky. The last leaves are falling as the autumn begins to die. And I have to tell you that I love you to your face one final time as I see you at the station. You don't look me in the eye. Our final fight. The last leaf falls from the tree. And I know in my heart of hearts, things were just too good to be. It's horribly painful. It's agony. Everything hurts. My head, my heart. But it starts with my memories first. Mind-numbing betrayal. The stings of defeat are all I can focus on as I walk alone through the street. The new reality as the pavement slams into my feet is that I'll be all alone, living on my own, dealing with my grief, praying it to be brief. But it won't be so easy. Pity party for one. I lock the front door of the place you gave me, and the back door just for safety. As winter's darkness fades, the snow begins to decay, early spring shining through with hope-like rays. It's like the last snow that won't melt away, the part that's hiding away in the shade. The sun's rays, they won't warm me up, because I'm just not ready to give you up. I don't think I've ever been more scared of sunshine, more terrified of daybreak, because you're the best dream I've ever had. So hold on to me. Don't let me wake. You let my heart break. You let me down. You betrayed my expectations. You made me feel like a clown, like a jester, or a joker. The return to reality is like becoming sober. I was intoxicated, morbidly love-drunk, but with the right friends, I braved the hangover. For the last 3 years, I've been wrapped up in my own pain, like a blanket of barbed wire paying for your mistakes. On some level, I realize now with longing and dread, I never considered what was going through your head. 'Cause you're a person with a heart and a fuck ton of feelings. And when we drifted apart, I know I left you reeling, feeling, and having had time to reflect, I did what was best for me. I made you the villain of that arc in my story. I never meant to hurt you. You didn't realize that with me, I wasn't cool with your lifestyle of polyamory. Then there's me, who was chasing monogamy. So when I sacrificed my deepest rawness, gave up virginity, I felt free. Like Icarus with his wings, I flew too close to your flames. I was a moth on candlelight with my corpse smouldering. You burnt me. Felt like you twisted the knife when I broke up with you over the phone, creased you up and cast you aside, threw you out of my life like an idea still not yet good enough. Booze numbed the pain, wasted like my potential. And I do wonder how you're doing now in life. Sometimes it's the silence that keeps me awake at night. You and I, inhaling sawdust like needles on the heart, some level makes me always wonder if I'd always be glad that we drifted apart and hit restart so I could fix myself and mend myself back up and start dating again. I'll always thank you, because you taught me to be smart, to be kind and a boss, and not let anyone play with my heart. Because it's an organ, not a toy, and I kinda need mine to live. So I'll search my soul for something back to give you, but I realize it's really hard to do, because how can you be nice to someone who repeatedly wronged you and who hurt you and made you feel like less than nothing? Oh, love is like a wasp. The fucker has a keen sting. That's the thing. It hurts because you care so much, so it's hard to let go despite knowing things are fucked up, because I still want to hate you, and that's never going to go away. I miss the times of yore when I was jovial and gay. In a way, I'm grateful for your dismay. I realize in the demise of our relationship that we were both fake. Actors on a stage, fulfilling the roles that we were cast to play. It's a one-man show now, and I stand with a crowd of friends who numbed the pain. There was an earthquake when you shook up my world. First kiss, the start of the end. I thought you were the oyster to my pearl, that you'd safeguard me, that we'd grow old together and start a legacy. I wonder, do you wonder what we could have been if we'd chosen to write a new history? I'd like to hear your side one day, and how you'd choose to justify all of the pain that you gave, packaged gifts signed with heartbreak or forever yours, with a false promise of forever being the sweetest con. How could we have possibly gone on? And you're talking to these other guys like that, and you don't realize it falls under the umbrella of cheating. And my tears will be the acid rain that burns away through your veil. I'm seething. Believe it. Boy, you need to get a clue that only fools could ever fall for you. You were freewheeling, I was daydreaming, and it feels like I'm suffocating, but it's actually liberating. I'm free to breathe, and all because you no longer have the hold on me. I'm free-falling, and you're stalling for time to find your next excuse, but who would ever take a chance on you? It's a trip down the memory lane of pain. Like a car crash, your fault for driving in the wrong lane. You went against what I wanted, and if your shoe fits, step in shit and have fun wiping it off. I saw you passing by, I was drunk with my friends, living, thriving in my best life. My fantasy is where I leave to escape the thorns of reality. The antitheses of everything you believed that I would be was happy and safe. Rose blush, a sacred place. Poker face, I play my ace and you call bullshit. And a childish rage, and all because you didn't get your way. Oh, sorry to disappoint, but I never went looking for your approval in the first place. I was young and carefree, 24 in 2017. What could have been forever and always, you transfigured into pain. I gave you a gift, the best parts of me. Shame you didn't return them, but I kept the receipts. And then the worst of me became the foundation for my elevation. Substituted sorrow for glee. And I could finally breathe after making you the villain of that arc of my story. But you brought it on yourself with your dickhead energy. Tell me why it was a good idea for you to treat me like shite in my own bed. Goodbye is all that I have to say now, as your projectile bile hits the cuirass I keep on my chest. It's for the best that we both move on from this period in our lives, and 4 years later, I got my closure, revisited the pain and lost my composure. I asked myself, how on earth did I allow a basic bitch like you to treat me like that? You fucked me over in your bed and in my head. And 4 years later, I got my closure, revisited the pain and lost my composure. I asked myself, how on earth did I allow a basic bitch like you to treat me like that? You fucked me over in your bed and in my head, and on some level, I had to realize you live in my mind rent-free. But it was the idea of falling in love that I fell in love with at 24. I was 15, and wanting to feel wanted seemed a far-off reality. A distant dream as a 18. I couldn't feel what I wanted out of fear for what was around me. I just wanted love. It wasn't too much to ask. But to move forward in my life, I needed to face my past. So I began to hyperfixate on everything I hate. 15 at 24, this flower bloomed late. When I was 15, everyone around me lost their virginity. 9-year delay like a package that was lost in the mail. It was tough. Life was rough. I had no one to talk to. 9 years later in life, quiet night in by the fire was our first time. 24, and I felt like a whore. Captured kiss, fractured bliss, and I'm glad that they're no more. And when you kissed me on the train, I didn't know a month later I was going to feel pain. And if the press of your lips against mine was a gift, can I return to sender all the baggage that came with it? I'll always hate the way how you're halfway out the door of my mind, and then you change your mind and step back in, and I have to find the strength within, once again, to deal with your shit. And you wave at me. Hi, bitch. I don't want to slap you round the face, but I refrain because I need to maintain my dignity, and words hurt more than actions ever could. 24 felt like a whore. And I had to settle that old score after you literally fucked around, slapped powder, a wig, and a red nose on me to make me the clown. A joke in your life, but I'm more than some punchline. I've grown. My mind is a thorn bush. I'll prick you on sight, make you feel some type of bad rush. I wonder if you think of me 4 years later. Probably not, you bitch. So why am I wasting all this effort on you? I have no words to fill that void. I just don't. So why do you live in the apartment complex of my head? Rent-free? I just want your shadow dead. Corpse under the floorboards, and to set a raging fire to the place. Inferno hotter than hell itself, and in the aftermath I may find solace. You turned into my worst fears. Philandering disloyalty, Jack-in-the-Box styled middle finger. Fuck you. Deliverance of misery. Bequeathed agony was the gift that you gave me, but I can't return to sender because of how deeply you hurt me. We always want what we can't have, and I desired stability. And in the confines of my mind, I realized we were never meant to be. You and I. Was it all a lie? The answer is yes, it's hyper-obvious, so why do I want to ignore it and undermine my suffering after the past 4 years spent recovering from the damage you did? Like, set fire to my happy place, my meadow, you desecrated that space, yet gave me comfort in the afterglow. I can't change you, and I won't dare to try, because you're the broken man. But why am I the one to cry? It's because I play victim better than I play any other role. I'm better at this than attack or defense. I let you score those goals. I let you hurt me and then act like I'm the one hurting. But the reality of the situation is, you could never win against me. You see, I'm stronger than everything you think makes me weak. So when it comes to me, try not to lose sleep. I realize that for you, things must be looking bleak. But look on the bright side. I'm finally free. I needed to fail and to meet the worst parts of me so that I could see the brighter side of when in my mind I was 24, but 15. I was raised on a diet of Disney and monogamy. Then you came along and ruined it like something sweet. We always want what we can't have, and I desired stability. They say that people cheat on diets, but you cheated on me. I gained the weight of you and then lost it. to come out stronger. I sank beneath the surface. Drowning in my feelings, the right hands pulled me up. I lost the weight of you when I decided to give you up. We'd argue about soap programs and which was better in the middle of the cafe, Coronation Street or EastEnders. And we'd head back home afterward, back to your nest. And your mother would welcome me in, like another of your friends. But I got the benefit of lying in your bed. Unbeknownst to her, upstairs, her beloved son was giving head. And with the blindfold on, I was tied to your headboard as you enacted your fetish, and you swallowed my sword, and we'd act like nothing happened when we went downstairs with my jacket over my crotch covering your dirty little dare. And she asked if I'd stay for tea and for my views on politics, but it was amazing how she couldn't tell that you just sucked my dick. Oh, it was the best performance I'd ever given. Not the cum shot, the lie. Blatant dishonesty aimed at her face. I'd never felt more vile. Because who, in their sane mind, slips away into paradise to tempt someone into pleasure, then spouts cruel lies? But I charmed your mother like the snake that charmed Eve, and formed a kinship with her over political parties. And you're over here playing contrarian, trying to impress me and look cool. Oh, but what you failed to realize was you looked an utter fool. Sometime later, I was minding my business, playing my 3DS, while we were laid together in bed, with my arm under your head. And I glanced at your Snapchat, and all I could see was the inferno that burned down our monogamy. Who was this Tesco Ben, this man of mystery? I would later realize he'd inherit my legacy. And I had to come to terms with and try to understand that another guy had come along and stolen your hand. So I snatched your phone, burning red with hate. Who is this, Ben? I spat with the softest rage. It was late. My parents were asleep, and you thought it a good idea to bite the hand that feeds, because we didn't need to take you in after your mother had kicked you out for defiling her trust, for having men over while she was out at the hospital getting treatment for a collapsed lung. You really were the cruelest creature that would hurt loved ones for fun, and you answer my question with a stutter and a stammer. Oh, now you can't speak English? I spat. Use your grammar and explain why it's okay to think you can play these games and treat people like they're playthings. We won't pay for your mistakes. So you act like you're a victim, but I would hold you accountable. It really boiled my blood after all the shit that you'd pulled, because in the space of a week, the things I did see were your weird obsessions with knives and blatant polyamory, and how you shut yourself away inside my room while I was at work and you ate my family's food. The fact that you never showered as you stayed at my house and really stunk up my bedroom really got my mood down. And when you went back home, I got a Facebook message from a guy who was claiming there was a third guy wrapped in all of this. The part that hurt the most wasn't your deceit, but rather the fact that a perfect stranger could provide legitimate receipts. So you cheated on me, and not with one, but two guys. But you have the gall to wonder why I didn't look you in the eyes and broke up with you over the phone instead of face to face. Because it would have hurt too much. It would have ached. It would have pained. Because you can't change a person that's gone and done infidelity like it's a drug. It can't be undone. So I watched us die. I burned our bridge, I picked up a second job and turned off the switch and dimmed the lights on that time in our lives. We'd both worn boxing gloves, but I won that fight. 1 month later, after we'd broken up, you came into my workplace with a really smug look. A trump card of an ace, I could feel the spite radiate from the other side of the store, and you thought you ate. But if you got over me that quickly, I guess you really are a whore, because the faithful ones stay single longer but without some plaything. I guess you got bored. Now, was he good company? because that man would be the inheritor of my legacy. I wanted to introduce myself as the old him, the previous model, the last plaything. But I ultimately thought it best to just leave you to be, because in time, he's going to understand he too needs to up and leave. October was the month everything came to an end. My hair at the time was sadness blue, but my hatred for you was burning red. Autumn leaves were falling, and on the outside, if you'd looked into my eyes, you'd see I hurt. I bled, I cried, because a part of me died when I had to say goodbye to the guy that thought it fun to stab and then twist the knife. Priceless were my feelings. They weren't things that you could buy. My heart wasn't for sale like some try before you buy, but you tried it. And you failed. You tried to buy back my affections. I turned 25 and I spent the day in reflection. You fucked up my diet like a glutton on confection. When things began to fall apart was when I saw your imperfections. Shameless and base, I saw you as shallow and dry. The last time we kissed on that train, September night, might as well have been our big, long, hard goodbye. Then I was sat around a table. My friends were celebrating, but I wasn't present at my own party. I was busy making sure I was okay. To save face, had to survive, chin up high with a plastic smile, partied through the night. I was supposed to have had the time of my life, turning 25. Poison was the cocktail. I drank to forget my biggest mistake I'd ever made. I drank. But I regret not saying that I cared about you more than I should have. But the solace in the silence since has yet to fuck me up. It's been 4 years, and I don't care about your feelings anymore. You're just a trophy on my shelf. A soulless award. You taught me not to play nice because it makes you look weak. So thank you for that life lesson, because you're now a stranger in the street. And if I see you, I'll feel calm, and I'll remember everything all too well. How you dragged me from mundane calm order into a fresh, boiling hell. Autumn leaves fall all around me, and you're not there. I'm smiling now, happy and proud, full on my diet of self-care. 4 years on, I'm 29, the prime of my life. I bet sometimes you think about me, and I hope you still cry. And if that's childish of me, there's no apology. You see, I'm engorged on empowerment, promenading through the streets with my head held high and a bright, beaming smile. I can look back on this story as some once upon a time. Autumn leaves fall all around me, and I feel that change of living my best life, no longer ashamed. Red was my hatred. Blue at the time was my hair. Pink is my self-love, but black is your despair. Scarlet is my passion. Green can be your envy of me. Since the road to redemption is finally complete. All's well that ends well. I'm ready to try again. I fell off the bike once and spent a long time in pain. But that chapter's written, and the hardback cover closes. To the next guy, fair warning. When I fall in shit, I'm the one that comes up smelling of roses.